On July 11, 2025, France launched a criminal investigation into Elon Musk's social media platform, X, marking a dramatic escalation in the global battle between governments and big tech. Unlike previous regulatory actions, this probe targets both the company and unnamed individuals, signaling a push for personal accountability in Silicon Valley. The move reflects mounting European frustration with Musk's perceived disregard for local laws on hate speech and democracy, especially under the Digital Services Act. This investigation could redefine the rules of the internet, raising urgent questions. Who is responsible when algorithms promote hate? Can a nation enforce its laws on a global tech giant? The answers from this case may set the tone for digital regulation worldwide. At the heart of the French probe are two major allegations: organized tampering with X's algorithm and fraudulent extraction of user data. These claims strike at the core of how social media platforms operate, raising urgent questions about the integrity of digital spaces and the safety of personal information. Prosecutors suspect the platform's code was deliberately altered to amplify certain content, giving some voices an artificial boost while muting others. This manipulation could have a profound impact, potentially skewing French political debate and shaping public opinion in ways that benefit specific interests. The second charge accuses X of illicitly harvesting user data, violating privacy and trust. Such actions could expose millions to risks, from targeted misinformation to identity theft. These are not vague complaints. Prosecutors must present concrete evidence of criminal intent, showing that these actions were not accidental but part of a coordinated effort. The complaint, filed in January 2025, links algorithmic manipulation to the spread of hateful anti-LGBT+ and racist content, fueling social divisions and real-world harm. It suggests a deliberate strategy to influence French politics, raising the stakes for both the platform and the government.
For years, companies hid behind proprietary code. This secrecy allowed them to avoid scrutiny, making it nearly impossible for outsiders to understand how decisions were made. France is now demanding transparency, pushing for a new era where tech giants are held accountable for their algorithms. If they succeed, it could be a landmark for algorithmic accountability, setting a precedent for other nations to follow.
The outcome could force big tech to open their black boxes for the first time, fundamentally changing how digital platforms are governed and how users' rights are protected. The investigation was set in motion by a secretive complaint, quietly filed by a French MP and a senior government official. Their identities were initially kept under wraps, adding an air of mystery and urgency to the case. Soon, the complaint gained momentum as prominent public figures, including MPs Eric Bothwell and Pierre Jouvet, stepped forward to lend their voices and credibility to the cause, signaling that this was no ordinary political dispute. The Paris Prosecutor's Office, under the leadership of Magistrate Laure Becquot, is renowned for its expertise in handling high-profile and complex legal battles. They are treating this investigation as a credible, high-stakes matter that could have far-reaching consequences.
We will pursue the facts with complete independence and rigor. Our commitment is to uncover the truth wherever it may lead.
The probe is now backed by a growing political consensus, with lawmakers and officials warning that X poses a real threat to France's national sovereignty and the stability of its democratic institutions. These concerns have only intensified after a recent surge in extremist content, much of it traced back to X's AI chatbot, which has alarmed both the public and cybersecurity experts. Meanwhile, Elon Musk and X have chosen to remain silent, refusing to comment publicly, a familiar tactic often used to control the narrative and keep critics guessing. The world is waiting to see Musk's next move. Will he choose defiance, risking further backlash, or cooperation, which could change the course of the investigation and public opinion? With so much at stake, the eyes of the world are fixed on France, as this investigation could set a precedent for how democracies confront the power of tech giants. France's criminal probe is part of a broader European crackdown on big tech, as governments across the continent grow increasingly concerned about the influence and opacity of major technology platforms. The EU's Digital Services Act is at the heart of this push, demanding unprecedented transparency and accountability from platforms like X, Facebook, and Google, and aiming to ensure that these companies operate in the public interest. The EU has already fined tech giants billions of euros for violations, sending a clear message that it's serious about enforcing its new digital rules and won't hesitate to take action against those who break them. These high-profile penalties show that Europe is willing to use its regulatory muscle to hold powerful companies accountable, even when they push back.
Brussels sets the rules, and member states like France enforce them with the full weight of their justice systems. This partnership between EU lawmakers and national authorities is key to making the regulations stick. The core conflict is over the secrecy of algorithms. These complex systems shape what billions of people see online, yet how they work remains hidden from public view. Tech companies argue that their algorithms are protected trade secrets, essential to their business models and competitive edge. But regulators warn that this secrecy can threaten democracy by allowing unchecked manipulation of information and public opinion. Without transparency, we can't know if algorithms are biased or manipulated, or if they're amplifying harmful content without oversight.
France's move to use criminal law raises the stakes even higher, potentially exposing top executives to personal liability and even prosecution if their companies fail to comply. This bold step is a test of Europe's power to regulate global platforms and could reshape how tech companies operate not just in Europe, but around the world. The outcome could set a precedent for how far nations can go to enforce their values on the digital world, and may inspire similar actions in other regions. With the criminal probe underway, French authorities can deploy powerful tools: raids, electronic surveillance, and executive summons.
Investigators could raid X's Paris offices, seize servers, and search for evidence of algorithmic tampering or data fraud.
Wiretaps and access to internal communications could reveal directives or intent behind the alleged crimes.
Executives, even Musk, could be summoned for questioning. Refusal to cooperate could trigger international legal action.
The threat of direct confrontation with Musk puts immense pressure on X to cooperate. Whether authorities will go that far depends on the evidence, but the possibility alone is a game changer. The investigation's next steps could redefine the relationship between tech giants and national law.
This is a battle of sovereignty, nation-states versus borderless tech empires. The outcome could embolden other countries to regulate big tech, or reinforce the idea that these companies are beyond national reach. The probe also challenges the secrecy of social media algorithms. If France compels X to reveal its code, it could set a global precedent. This isn't about censorship. It's about accountability and ensuring digital spaces aren't designed to promote extremism. European regulators counter that unmoderated platforms breed hate and disinformation, threatening democracy. Musk champions near absolute free speech, arguing that government intervention is censorship. This case spotlights the clash between free speech and accountability in the digital age.
The French investigation into X could become a landmark case, setting new legal precedents for tech accountability and corporate responsibility.
A conviction could pierce the corporate veil, holding executives personally liable for algorithm-driven harms and sending shockwaves through the tech industry. Musk's response, whether defiant or cooperative, will shape both the legal fight and public opinion around the world. Key developments to watch include possible raids, legal challenges to French jurisdiction, and reactions from other governments.
This case is about more than just one company. It's a defining struggle for the future of the internet and digital society. The world is watching closely to see if national law can truly hold a global tech empire to account. The outcome could ultimately redraw the boundaries between technology, law, and democracy for years to come.